When you're thinking, you're actually listening. But have you ever paused to ask yourself, who or what are you really listening to? Is it your own voice? Or is it something deeper, something hidden in the background, whispering a confusing blend of truths and lies? Consider that endless dialogue running in your head, narrating every detail of your life, second-guessing your choices, replaying old memories on loop, or projecting futures that never happen. What is this voice? And why does it seem to hold so much power over you? Here's a crucial truth that most people never realize. You are not your thoughts. You're not the voice inside your mind. You are the one who listens to it. You are the silent observer, the witness who stands apart from all that noise. Yet, most of us go through life trapped within our own mental chatter, tangled in a relentless web of thoughts we mistake for reality. We believe the voice is us, but it isn't. It's simply a mechanism of the mind, a tool, not the essence of who we truly are. Imagine for a moment that you could free yourself from this constant noise. What if freedom from the endless mental loop was not some distant dream, but something accessible to you right now? What if you could break the chains your mind has placed on you and step into a life of clarity, calm, and boundless energy? This kind of liberation is possible, and it all starts with recognizing one fundamental fact: you are more than your thoughts. The mind is a powerful tool, but it craves control. It thrives on keeping you perpetually busy, thinking, analyzing, planning, worrying, regretting. It clings to the past, frets about the future, and rarely allows you to experience the present. And while your mind is busy dragging you in every direction, life is unfolding right in front of you. Moment by moment, life is happening, yet you miss it. You miss the simple beauty of a breath, the stillness of a quiet moment, the magic of just being. But what if you could reclaim those moments? What if you could step out of your mental fog and fully experience the richness of the present? It begins by learning how to quiet the noise and connect with a deeper part of yourself, the part that exists beyond your thoughts and emotions, beyond the illusion of control. This is the part of you that simply is calm, steady, and untouched by the mind's constant chatter. In this exploration, you'll learn practical ways to silence that internal noise and discover a level of peace you may not have thought possible. You'll find that, beneath the chatter, there exists a quiet, powerful presence, the real you. This is the self that has always been there, patiently waiting for you to notice, hidden behind the endless whirl of thoughts. So, I invite you to pause. Take a deep breath and let go of everything else, just for a moment. Let this be the beginning of a new journey, a journey to rediscover who you really are. The real you isn't lost. It's just been buried under years of mental noise. As you learn to distinguish yourself from your thoughts, you'll experience a freedom that transforms how you see your mind, your life, and yourself. Here's the truth: the voice in your head is not you. And once you grasp this, your entire experience of life will shift. You'll no longer be a prisoner of your thoughts. Instead, you'll be the one who listens, the one who chooses, and the one who finally finds peace. Now let's dive deeper into uncovering the true nature of that voice, and discover how you can reclaim your inner peace. When you're alone with your thoughts, what do you hear? Is it a calm, supportive guide offering wisdom and encouragement, or is it a restless, relentless chatter that never seems to stop? For most of us, this inner voice is a constant presence, narrating every moment of our lives. It analyzes situations, criticizes our actions, plans for the future, and replays past events. But here's an eye-opening truth: that voice isn't you. Pause for a moment and reflect. If you can hear the voice, if you can observe it, doesn't that imply you are separate from it? You are not the chatter itself. You are the one listening to it. This realization is transformative. It's the first step toward reclaiming your inner peace. When you understand that you are not the voice, you can begin to loosen its grip on your mind and detach from its constant noise. But why does this voice exist in the first place? It's not inherently harmful. In fact, it's there for a reason. This inner voice is a mechanism designed to protect you, to help you make sense of the world, anticipate dangers, and plan ahead. It evolved as a survival tool, enabling us to predict outcomes and avoid risks. Yet, in its overzealous attempts to protect you, it often becomes overwhelming. It replays arguments you had long ago, foresees problems that never actually occur, and invents worries that paralyze you. What was meant to keep you safe now creates mental chaos. Consider this analogy. Imagine you're sitting in a movie theater, watching a stunning scene of a sunset over a serene ocean. The colors are vivid, the waves are gently lapping, and everything feels perfect. But next to you, someone keeps whispering incessantly, "Why is the sun that color? Do you think it's going to rain? What's going to happen next?" No matter how beautiful the scene is, you can't fully enjoy it. This is what your inner voice does. It narrates your life so persistently that you miss the simple beauty of being present. How do you break free from this constant mental noise? The first step is to observe the voice. Right now, if you can, close your eyes. Listen to the thoughts running through your mind. What are they saying? Are they analyzing these words? Planning your next task? Maybe even questioning whether this exercise works? Whatever it is, just listen. Notice how the voice seems to have a life of its own. Here's a crucial insight. The voice isn't you. It's just a pattern, a collection of mental habits. When you observe it without judgment, you create a gap between yourself and the chatter. This gap is where freedom exists. In this space, you can experience life directly, unfiltered by the noise of your mind. The inner voice thrives on your attention. The more you buy into its stories, the stronger it becomes. But the moment you take a step back and observe it, its power starts to dissolve. Instead of being a character trapped in the drama of your mind, you become the audience, calmly watching the story unfold. You regain control. It's important to remember that the goal isn't to silence the voice. That's impossible. Thoughts are a natural part of being human. They will always come and go. Your task is to recognize that they are just thoughts, not ultimate reality. They're like clouds drifting across the sky. You are the sky, vast, steady, and unaffected by the clouds that temporarily pass through. This understanding is the foundation of true inner freedom. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that witnesses them. As you cultivate this awareness, you'll experience a deeper sense of peace and clarity than you've ever known. Life becomes less chaotic, and your mind feels lighter. Now, let's explore how this understanding applies to the emotions your inner voice stirs up. These emotions, like fear, anger, or sadness, are often tied to past experiences and can feel overwhelming. Letting go of these emotions isn't always easy. Some of them are deeply rooted, anchored by memories that left emotional scars. But the key remains the same. Feel the emotion, but don't become it. Watch the emotion arise, but don't let it define who you are. You have the power to observe without attachment. By doing this, you create space for healing and growth. Instead of being trapped by your thoughts and emotions, you can move through them with grace and freedom. What if I told you that most of the emotional weight you're carrying doesn't come from the events themselves, but from your refusal to let go of them? Painful memories, unresolved anger, lingering fears, these don't have to define your life. But as long as you hold on to them, they will. The past can be like a shadow that grows larger the more you resist it, looming over every moment of your present. Emotions are like energy. They are meant to flow and move naturally. When you allow them to come and go, they pass through you and dissipate. But when you cling to them, when you replay the past or suppress what you feel, that energy gets stuck. It doesn't vanish. It becomes emotional baggage that weighs you down wherever you go. And the longer you hold on to it, the heavier and more exhausting it becomes. Think about a time when someone hurt you with their words or actions. The event itself may have lasted just a few minutes, but your mind replays it repeatedly, dissecting every moment. You relive the pain as if it were happening over and over again. The truth is, it's not the original event that's still hurting you, it's your inability to let it go. Each replay reinforces the pain, anchoring it more deeply in your mind and body. But letting go isn't about pretending the pain didn't happen or forcing yourself to forget. Letting go is about freeing yourself from the emotional grip the event has on you. It's about giving yourself permission to fully feel your emotions, to let them rise, peak, and then move on. This act of release liberates you from carrying pain that no longer serves you. Here's a simple yet profound realization. Emotions are temporary. Anger, sadness, fear, they're like waves in the ocean. They rise, they peak, and eventually they fade away. But if you resist the wave or try to cling to it, you'll find yourself dragged under, struggling to stay afloat. Let me guide you through a quick practice. Think of something that has been weighing on you, an argument, a regret, a worry about the future. Now, notice how this memory feels in your body. Is there a tightness in your chest? A heaviness in your shoulders? A knot in your stomach? Don't judge these sensations or try to push them away. Just acknowledge their presence. Take a slow, deep breath in. As you exhale, imagine the tightness loosening, the knot unraveling. Silently say to yourself, I see you, I feel you, and I release you. Keep breathing gently, allowing the emotion to flow through you like water. This is the power of surrender, not as a sign of weakness, but as an expression of freedom. When you stop fighting your emotions, you create space for them to pass through you. You release the stories your mind has been telling you and simply feel what is present. Of course, letting go isn't always easy. Some emotions are rooted deep within, tied to past experiences that have left scars. But the process remains the same. Feel the emotion, but don't become it. Witness it, but don't let it define you. You are not your anger, your sadness, or your fear. You are the one who observes these emotions. Here's another simple technique. When a powerful emotion arises, label it. Say to yourself, this is anger or this is sadness. By naming it, you create a healthy distance between you and the emotion. You remind yourself that it's just a feeling passing through, not your identity, not your entire reality. The truth is, life isn't about avoiding pain. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. It's about allowing yourself to feel deeply and experience fully, without getting trapped. You don't have to be a prisoner of your emotions. You can observe them, honor them, and let them go. Now that you've begun to release this emotional weight, it's time to address another major source of stress, the illusion of control. When you learn how to surrender the need to control every outcome, you unlock a new kind of freedom, one rooted in trust, peace, and the ability to flow with life. We all crave control. Control over our lives, control over others, control over the future. It feels reassuring, doesn't it? Like if you could just manage every detail and anticipate every outcome, you'd finally feel safe and secure. But here's the paradox. The more you try to control, the more you realize how little control you actually have. This realization, though it may seem terrifying at first, can ultimately set you free. Think about it. How many times have you meticulously planned something, only for life to take an unexpected turn? Maybe you rehearsed a conversation you thought would go perfectly, but it veered off course. Or you carefully mapped out your career path, only to end up in a completely different place. These moments are frustrating and disappointing, but they are also inevitable. Control is an illusion. Life is far too vast, unpredictable, and complex to fit into the neat little boxes we create. The reality is, no matter how hard you wish for clear skies, the weather won't bend to your desires. Other people won't always act according to the scripts you've mentally written for them. And the future? It will unfold in ways you cannot fully predict or manipulate, regardless of how much you try. So what happens when you cling tightly to this illusion of control? You suffer. You resist the natural flow of life, desperately trying to bend it to your will. This resistance creates tension, frustration, and anxiety. You stress over circumstances beyond your power, depleting your energy in the process. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips through your fingers. But what if you let go? What if you surrendered, not out of defeat, but out of trust? Trusting that life has a rhythm and intelligence of its own, even when you can't see it clearly. Trusting that no matter what comes your way, you have the strength and resilience to handle it, even if it doesn't align with your plans. Let's try a simple exercise to explore this idea. Close your eyes if you're able to and think about something in your life that you're trying to control right now. It could be a decision, a relationship, or an outcome that you're desperately hoping will go your way. Notice how this desire to control manifests in your body. Is there tightness in your chest? A clenching of your jaw? A knot in your stomach? Now take a slow, deep breath in. As you exhale, imagine releasing that need to control. Picture your hands opening, releasing the reins you've been gripping so tightly. Silently say to yourself, I release this. I trust the process. Feel the tension begin to loosen, the anxiety start to fade. In this moment, you're not giving up. You're giving yourself permission to let go of the impossible task of controlling everything. Letting go of control doesn't mean you stop caring or stop taking action. It means you stop trying to force outcomes that aren't within your power to dictate. It means you show up, give your best effort, and then allow life to unfold. You stay engaged but unattached to specific results. Here's the beautiful truth. Life has its own rhythm and wisdom. When you stop fighting it and learn to flow with it, you experience a peace that control can never provide. You start to notice that even when things don't go according to your plans, they often turn out better than you could have imagined. Imagine standing in a river. If you fight against the current, you'll exhaust yourself, making no progress. But if you let go and flow with the water, you move effortlessly. Life works the same way. The current of life is always moving, always guiding you, if you're willing to trust it. But surrender isn't just about external events. It also applies to your inner world. How often do you try to control your thoughts or emotions, forcing yourself to feel differently than you do? What if you simply allowed your thoughts and feelings to exist without resistance? Emotions, like waves, rise and fall naturally. Trust that they too will pass and fade. Here's a mantra you can use: I control what I can, and I let go of what I can't. Repeat this to yourself whenever you feel the urge to grip tightly, to force or resist life's flow. It serves as a gentle reminder that while you can control your actions, choices, and attitude, everything else is beyond your grasp. Now that you've loosened your grip on control, consider what it means to live more openly and freely. By trusting life's natural flow, you unlock the full potential of your heart and mind. You experience deeper ease, resilience, and joy, a fulfillment that no amount of control can ever achieve. Imagine a life where you wake up every morning with a profound sense of freedom, where your heart feels light, your mind is at peace, and you welcome whatever the day may bring with open arms. This is the essence of living openly. But for many of us, this vision feels just out of reach because we've spent years building walls around ourselves. These walls are constructed from fear, pain, and a relentless desire to protect ourselves from harm. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you suppressed your feelings out of fear of being judged or misunderstood? How often have you turned down opportunities simply because you feared failure? These walls might give the illusion of safety, but they're actually trapping you. They prevent the flow of life, block meaningful connections with others, and keep you from experiencing the beauty and excitement of new possibilities. Living openly doesn't mean you won't face setbacks or experience pain. Life is full of challenges, and getting hurt is part of the human experience. However, living openly means that you stop allowing the fear of these challenges to dictate your choices. It means choosing to embrace life fully, with all its unpredictable twists and imperfections. Let's begin with your heart, the core of your emotional world. The heart is the most powerful energy center in your body. When your heart is open, you feel alive, connected, and at peace. But when your heart is closed, you feel isolated, defensive, and weighed down by burdens. So why do we close our hearts? Most often it's because we're afraid of vulnerability, afraid of getting hurt, and afraid of revealing our true selves. But here's a life-changing truth. Vulnerability isn't a weakness. In fact, it's a pure and courageous expression of strength. When you live with an open heart, you allow yourself to feel deeply, to connect authentically, and to experience life in its fullest form. Yes, it's risky. There's always the possibility of getting hurt. But it's also where you'll discover genuine joy and fulfillment. Here's a simple practice to help you start opening your heart. Close your eyes for a moment and think about someone or something you love. It could be a person, a pet, a place, or even a cherished memory. Feel the warmth that comes with that love. Now, imagine that warmth expanding, filling your chest, and radiating outward. With each breath, let that feeling grow stronger, as if you're sending it out into the world. This is the power of an open heart. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to live in this way, not guarded but free. Living openly also means embracing the present moment. How often do we find ourselves trapped in worry about the future or regret about the past? Meanwhile, life is happening right in front of us, and we're missing it. The present moment is where life truly unfolds. It's where beauty, joy, and peace exist. But to experience it, you need to let go of the mental noise pulling you away. Try this exercise to anchor yourself in the present. Wherever you are, pause. Take a deep breath and become aware of your surroundings. What do you see? What do you hear? What can you feel? Engage your senses fully. When your mind starts to wander, gently guide it back to the present moment. This practice of presence is a gateway to living openly. It helps you see life as it truly is, not as your mind imagines it to be. In that clarity, you find freedom. But living openly isn't just about your relationship with yourself. It's also about how you connect with others. How often do we hide our true thoughts and feelings because we fear rejection or misunderstanding? Yet, it's precisely in moments of honesty and vulnerability that authentic connections are formed. Here's a challenge for you. The next time you're having a conversation, practice radical honesty. Share something true about yourself, something you'd normally hesitate to reveal. Notice how it feels to express yourself openly and authentically. You might be surprised at how this openness deepens your connection with the other person. Living openly also means saying yes to life. Too often, we hold back out of fear, doubt, or waiting for the perfect moment. But here's the reality. Life rarely hands you perfect moments. You create them by stepping forward, by saying yes, even when you're unsure or nervous. Living openly is a conscious choice you make every day. It's a practice of letting go of fear, embracing vulnerability, and being fully present. It's not always easy. There will be days when fear creeps back in, when you feel the urge to retreat behind those familiar walls. But remember, the freedom and joy that come from living openly are always worth it. Now that you've unlocked the power of living openly, let's bring it all together. True freedom is the kind that endures, no matter what life throws your way. It's the freedom to be yourself, to embrace uncertainty, and to trust that life, with all its ups and downs, is unfolding exactly as it should. By choosing to live openly, you're choosing a life of courage, connection, and boundless possibility. What does it mean to be truly free? Is it having no responsibilities? Is it escaping all pain and struggle? No. Real freedom isn't about running away from life. It's about embracing it fully. True freedom means living without the inner chains that hold you back, the relentless mental chatter, the emotional burdens, and the constant need for control. True freedom begins within. Think of freedom not as something you need to attain, but as something you uncover. It already exists within you, buried beneath layers of fear, doubt, and resistance. When you stop clinging to what no longer serves you and release what you cannot control, you return to this natural state of freedom. Many of us mistakenly believe that freedom comes from solving every problem or achieving every goal. But have you ever noticed how, as soon as one problem is solved, another one appears? It's like an endless cycle that keeps your mind trapped. The truth is, your mind will always find something to fixate on unless you learn to step back and observe it. Here's a simple practice. The next time your mind spirals with worries, plans, or regrets, pause. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am not my thoughts. Imagine your thoughts as leaves floating on a stream. Watch them drift by without grabbing onto them. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about freeing yourself from the stories your mind constantly creates. You don't have to believe everything you think. True freedom doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means not being controlled by them. Emotions are natural and will rise and fall, like waves on the ocean. You can't stop the waves, but you don't have to let them sweep you away either. When you feel anger, sadness, or fear, acknowledge it. Say to yourself, I see you and I accept you. Let the emotion flow through you. Don't resist it, but also don't cling to it. Allow it to come, and then let it go. One of the most liberating realizations is this: you don't need everything to go perfectly to be at peace. Freedom is not the absence of chaos, it's the ability to remain calm within it. When you let go of the need for life to be flawless, you stop fighting reality and start experiencing true peace. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. The wind is howling, the rain is pouring, but deep inside you, there is a stillness, a quiet, unshakable center. That stillness is your true self. It remains untouched by external circumstances. When you connect with this inner stillness, you realize that freedom isn't about making the storm disappear. It's about finding peace within the storm. So, how can you cultivate this freedom in your daily life? By practicing presence. Let go of what you can't change and open your heart to life as it is, not as you wish it to be. Freedom flourishes when you are fully engaged with the present moment. Here's a mantra to carry with you: I am free no matter what. Say it when you feel overwhelmed, when plans fall apart, or when emotions seem too strong to bear. This simple phrase is a reminder that your freedom isn't dependent on external conditions. It doesn't come from the world around you. It comes from within. True freedom is about showing up for life, without fear, without resistance, and without the need to control everything. It means being fully alive in each moment, trusting that you can handle whatever comes your way. Living freely means you are not held captive by the past, nor are you consumed by worries about the future. Instead, you embrace the unpredictability and imperfections that make life beautiful and real. When you adopt this mindset, your heart feels lighter, your mind becomes calmer, and your soul grows stronger. You stop wasting energy trying to control things that are beyond your power. Instead, you focus that energy on what truly matters: being present, being authentic, and being open to life's possibilities. Freedom doesn't mean you won't face difficulties. It means those difficulties no longer define you. You're no longer trapped by the fear of failure, judgment, or the unknown. You face challenges with courage, knowing that at your core, you are grounded in a deeper sense of self, a part of you that remains steady no matter what life throws your way. So remember this mantra: I am free no matter what. Let these words guide you through life's complexities. When you feel the urge to control or resist, pause, take a deep breath, and remind yourself of this truth. Release the need to force outcomes, and step forward with an open heart. Because being truly free is not about escaping life's struggles. It's about embracing life, in all its messiness, uncertainty, and beauty. The greatest freedom is the one you cultivate within yourself. Once you uncover it, that freedom becomes yours to carry through every experience, every challenge, and every moment of your life. Take a moment and breathe. Let the words settle. Let the thoughts quiet. Just be here. Because this is the point we've been building toward, the realization that everything you need is already within you. The clarity, the peace, the freedom, they're not things you have to chase. They are simply waiting for you to uncover them. Think back to where we started, with that restless inner voice. At first, it might have felt like the voice was in control, dictating your every thought, feeling, and decision. But now you know the truth. The voice isn't you. You are the observer, the one watching, listening, and choosing how much power to give it. We then explored the weight of emotional baggage, the anger, fear, and pain we carry for far too long. Letting go wasn't about ignoring those emotions. It was about feeling them, honoring them, and then releasing them. Because you're not meant to hold on to every wave that crashes against you. You're meant to let them flow, trusting that you will remain steady no matter how strong the tide. From there, we uncovered the illusion of control, the false belief that we can shape every outcome, avoid every mistake, and protect ourselves from life's uncertainty. True freedom came through surrender, in trusting the flow of life and realizing that the less you resist, the more peace you find. Finally, we stepped into the art of living openly. No more walls. No more hiding. Instead, you learn to keep your heart open, ready to love and be loved, to embrace life's moments with courage and authenticity. This is where joy lives, in the present moment, unfiltered and raw. So what's next? What do you do with all this knowledge? The answer is simple: practice. This isn't a one-time shift. It's a daily choice. Every moment offers you the opportunity to step back and observe your thoughts. Release what doesn't serve you. Let go of control and surrender to the flow of life. Open yourself to the infinite possibilities that each moment holds. Because freedom isn't a destination. It's not a finish line you cross or a prize you win. Freedom is a state of being. It's choosing again and again to return to yourself. It's choosing to trust yourself, to live fully and openly, no matter what life brings. A final moment of stillness. As you leave this video, take one more deep breath. Feel the stillness within you, that unshakable part of you that nothing can disturb. Carry that stillness with you. Let it guide you. And remember, you are free, not because of what's happening around you, but because of what's happening within you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the Top Hidden Knowledge channel for more content on wisdom, spirituality, and personal growth. If this video resonated with you, share it with others who might benefit. If you have time, check out other videos on this channel. Until next time.